Hello everyone, this is Mark Roper, and this is a new show on Adelphia Cable Systems called Makin Music, and with us tonight in the studio, special treat, we have an alternative band called Spinning Jenny, and with me is Ron Anthony, our show's co-host, and also we have several members of the group, and we'll be going into how they make music, why, what they do, who they are, and everything that they're into with their music. And we're also going to be going into a break, and after the break, they're going to be coming back and demonstrating some of the songs that they actually do. And so, guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Ron?
Oh, thank you, Mark. Actually, we have a terrific alternative rock band from the South Shore. It's Spinning Jenny, and Spinning Jenny is a raw energy wound with tight melodies chained to a rock-solid rhythm section. This tight unit is in its fourth year as one of Boston's best. Spinning Jenny has received local airplay from stations like WBRU, WFNX, WCGY, and WMLN. Also, they have appeared with popular New England Performer magazine. And they're playing currently from New Jersey to Maine in clubs like the Campus Club in Princeton, New Jersey, Bullwinkles in Pawcatucket, Connecticut. Hope I got that right. The Irish Embassy in Easton, Mass. Local 186 Club, formerly called Bunratty's, in Allston, Mass. And Moose Alley in Portland, Maine. Welcome, Spinning Jenny. Mark?
You guys have an unusual name with an unusual background. I was just wondering, how did the name Spinning Jenny first come into creation, and how did it catch on?
Well, the name is it just kind of, someone brought it up one day at rehearsal when we were looking for names. It's just some machine from years past that wove thread into yarn or something or other. We just thought it had a good ring.
You mean like with the spinning wheel and then the thing on top?
I've never seen one first. It had a good ring to it, and we kept it, and it raises some, questions, which is good because people kind of remember it. So
I was just wondering, from the roster that Ron read, you guys are playing out a lot. I was just wondering, on an average night, I was just wondering how many times you guys might ask about your name. Does it ever bother you? People do that, or?
No, not at all. It makes you drill into their head more often, so they don't forget it. So you have to explain the name to them, and then they remember it. So it helps with publicity and promotion and everything. So.
And what do you do with the band?
I'm the drummer.
What is it that you like the very best about drums? What is it about drums that makes you want to play the drums as opposed to any other instrument?
I don't know. I've been playing for a long time. I just started because I guess I had natural ability. I was told when I'd bang on, the old bang on the pots and pans and things, and took lessons from there and just kept pursuing it. Went to Berkeley for 4 years, got a degree in music, and now trying to break through.
And your name is?
Cherie.
And what do you do with the band, Cherie?
I sing and play rhythm guitar sometimes.
How long have you been with the group now?
Since its early beginnings, back even when Jay was, there's been 3 members that have been all together from the very, very beginning, and we have 2 new members.
So you were one of the founding people.
The founding people, that's right.
Has your sound always been approximately the same, or has it undergone changes over the years?
We've been through a few stages, shall we call them?
Okay.
For lack of a better word. We had the Fleetwood Mac stage and the New York Dolls stage. and now we're just having a good time, really.
Ron?
A lot of our listening audience does not know what alternative rock music is. Can you kind of capsulize it, Jay?
Right now, as we speak, alternative rock is just about the popular music right now. It used to be so-called the answer to punk back in the late 80s, and it was the underground music that college radio played that wasn't as popular and selling as many records.
Right.
But now, seeing as all the kids got into it and followed the college stations and thought they wanted to hear the new stuff instead of the older bands back from the 60s and 70s, it's gained more popularity. It's just still called alternative rock, although it's not really an alternative anymore. It's almost the mainstream.
I think it is the mainstream.
Cherie? As far as alternative rock and, let's just say, regular classic rock, as compared between the 2 styles, would you say that classic rock is kind of losing its edge or its audience simply because the audience is just tired of hearing the same Leonard Skinner, ZZ Top, Rolling Stones songs?
I don't think so. I think that the classic rock will always have a really good audience. I think it's losing a lot of the younger listeners, definitely, but I think that there's an age group that will always be forever classic rock.
Jay, what are your feelings about this?
Classic rock, lately classic rock has been changing. Even if an artist has a song that was classic back in the 70s, if they come out with something new, because were classic in the 70s, their new songs are going to be on classic rock. So if things keep turning over that way, then, like I said with the alternative thing, the classic stuff's now becoming new again. So it's kind of more of an artist thing as opposed to the music itself.
Ron?
Thanks, Mark. Cherie and Jay, your music is considered unique right now. Even though it's alternative music, your particular twist to it is unique. What makes it unique as far as the way the vocalist sings, or the way the guitarist guitars? What can you tell me about that? What do you do different? You know, we want to know the inner workings. So what's it all about, Alfie, and so forth?
I think that it's really melodic as opposed to a lot of stuff out there. I mean, there are a lot of good, really melodic bands out there, but the way that we do sort of strange and interesting harmonies and
You blend it together.
yeah,
somehow,
yeah,
which
yeah,
we'll hear later.
yeah.
So I guess it's the, weaving in and weaving out of different harmonies and melodies,
Yeah,
and how they blend
exactly.
in and work together.
Exactly, with still keeping that energy.
Do you ever find it difficult maintaining a balance between the two in terms of the sheer energy and the bash of it, and also trying to, still get the melodic side across as well too? Is that difficult?
I personally don't think so, because the music sort of creates an energy of its own, and it fits and it works, and you can play a song and it can seem crazy with energy one night, and you can play the same song maybe the next night and it might seem a little mellow. I don't know, it just sort of takes on an energy of its own when you play it.
Do you ever find, when I used to play in bands back home, I'm originally from the Midwest area, even songs that you've been playing, over a period of time, sometimes you start to detect yourself doing different little things, but within the same tune. Do you guys ever find yourself doing that?
Sometimes it depends on the song, really.
I think if you play a song over and over again and become more comfortable with it, and then you can tend to, push boundaries here and there and change things around just to make it interesting for yourself. And yeah, I think it does happen. If you play a song long enough, you can change things around just to keep it interesting and to, to make yourself happy with it, and instead of letting it get boring and stagnant, so to speak.
You guys have a rather unique style. I was just wondering, what influences do you basically draw on to get the ideas you use for your own songs?
Try to keep ahead of what's happening now, and don't get stuck on too many bandwagons, really. Because if you get stuck on a bandwagon, it's gonna go by, and you'll end up doing something that was done years ahead, and no one will want to hear it again because it was already been done. So we try to keep ahead of what's current now.
You try to keep your focus.
Right. Yeah.
Ron?
Mark, what I was thinking was, you have a comedian out there, and they have to get feedback from the audience to know they're doing their job. They're either clapping or they're laughing, okay? Do you feel that sometimes you have some kind of a hypnotic thing in your music that keeps people tuned in even though they're not clapping every minute? Do you feel some kind of a surge there, that you're not controlling the audience, but you're giving them what they want, and they're holding on, and it holds them right to the end of the song?
Well, there's definitely, I suppose, a hypnotic quality about some of our songs where they wouldn't exactly jump up and down and slam dance to them. I mean, but they're really into them. And at the end of the song, I mean, some of our best songs are songs that go over the best in clubs, or some of the more laid-back, melodic, more interwoven songs, shall we say.
What song seems to be, with all the clubs that you have gigs at, what songs seems to be the most popular amongst all the clubs? Is there one song or a couple songs that you do that they seem to like overall, or is it just every song is different with a different crowd?
Well, we do. We've written a number of songs over the years, and we've released a number of tapes. And at one point, we were getting ready to do a show, and we decided to weave 3 songs together into one long thing without taking any breaks. And that seems to get a good response because the first song's kind of slow and then it builds up. And by the time you get to the third song, it's really busy and going. So it starts off slow and rocks later on. So people kind of, get into it and then they have more fun as it goes along. That seems to have a good response. You don't take a lot of breaks in between, and they don't get bored with it.
Who are some of your favorite alternative people?
Oh, that's a hard question. I have a lot of people I like. In fact, I listen to the radio in spurts, a lot of just spurts. I'll hear a song, I really like that, but I don't really listen long enough half the time to hear who really sings it. So, I don't know. I guess if you're asking who influences are, it's, everything from Rush to Adam and the Ants to the B-52s to
That's quite a range of
Gabriel
material.
to, I mean, a lot of things. I like a lot of different kinds of music.
Yeah, we all, as individual musicians, hear something and try to bring our own little pieces into the band as far as what we like and what we heard today and what we heard, 10 years ago. So, remember that song, we could do something like that, and just whatever works at the time for whatever feel we want for a song, or so to speak, or something like that. But listening really to new stuff right now, the new rock, to see what's going on in the market.
You studied at Berkeley for a while. I was wondering what that experience was like for you, and how does it help you in the band?
It was very interesting. I learned a lot, I'll put it that way. I learned a lot of different styles of music, and I learned a lot about music in general, but as far as being in the real world, it's kind of a different thing. Berkeley's like its own little real world. They try to give you all the knowledge that you can use when you get out there, but when you get out, you're still going to learn a whole bunch of different things that you didn't know. So it's just a matter of, like promotion, things like that. It's tough to come by until you actually jump in, in real life and learn about what people's jobs are and who you got in contact with and things like that.
Now, have you guys ever played with other bands as opposed to just Spinning Jenny, or was Spinning Jenny the very first act that you've ever played with?
I've played with a number of bands all through high school, and up to this day I still do some things here and there with other people that I've come across and need a fill-in or whatever. But this is the longest I've been in a band doing original music like this. Yeah.
Cherie?
I played in another band called Innocence with another one of the members of Spinning Jenny, and that was a little bit different, but similar in some ways.
How did you get involved with guitar playing and singing?
I've sung all my life from when I was little. My mom used to point at the notes and make me follow along. I'm serious. And then
A, B, C.
And then guitar playing, I knew some students that went to Berkeley, and I started hanging around with them, and I just couldn't get over how much fun they had with the guitar and just hanging around. And then I did some stuff in the Berkeley studios, and I decided that I wanted to write songs and record them, and I wasn't ever that good as a player, but as a writer,
We only have about a few seconds until we go into a break. And after a short break, we'll be right back, and we'll also go into a demonstration with the rest of Spinning Jenny, and we'll be taking a look at what they do, so you might want to stick around for the rest of the show. This has been Mark Roper with Ron Anthony, and we'll see you during the second half of the program, along with the rest of Spinning Jenny. Stay tuned.
My hero? Isaiah Thomas. Kevin Costner. Mr. Wong.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
My hero? Mrs. Wooten. If I don't get through to that child, who knows, maybe no one else will.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. Find out how by calling 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
All right, that was Spinning Jenny, band based out of Stoughton. And in case you just caught us after the break of the program, we're with the members of Spinning Jenny, and they play quite frequently in the Boston area. What other areas in New England do you play around?
All of them.
Really, everywhere?
New York, New Jersey.
Up and down New England.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, from New Jersey to Maine, Nantucket, all those.
And with all the different clubs that you guys have played, which has probably been numerous, what would you say have been your best gigs and where?
Best? Well.
I'm new, can't ask me.
Well, I'm going to ask you.
No.
College kids.
Yeah.
This is the...
Any games we play at colleges and for college kids, that's usually the best ones because they get really crazy and jump around and slam dance.
A lot of slam dancing and stuff?
One place numerous times and people get to look forward to you coming there, and it's good when you see familiar faces in the same place that you play at.
Do you get a lot of airplay on the college radio stations, or do you also get a lot of airplay on the commercial ones? And how do the audiences differ?
Whatever ones play local music.
Whatever gets requested, as long as it's easy enough as just calling in and requesting for a band that has our music.
Yeah, so request Spinning Jenny.
That is a shameless plug if ever I heard one.
I was looking at your bass. I'm a bass player myself, and I noticed that you have a 5-string bass. You know, for any other bass players watching the program, I was just wondering, with the 5th string on there, how does it differ as opposed to just a normal bass?
You get all the low notes that aren't on the regular bass, you know, there's... It's just a lot cooler, you know.
And I've noticed that with the solos that you play, you do a good combination of fast solos as well as slow solos. I was just wondering, how do you strike and create a balance between the two?
Well, that's something I've been working on ever since I started playing with these people. All through college and actually all my life, I was really into guys that would really play really fast all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Swedish guy by the name of Yngwie Malmsteen that I was really into for a long time, who was famous for his speed. But one of the things these people have been teaching me is that you don't have to be technically incredible to be a good musician.
And Jay?
Yes, sir.
I've noticed that with your drumming, when I was listening to you guys earlier doing your 2 songs, I noticed that you try to create a weaving effect, you know, in and out of the different tunes and stuff. It's a cool style. How do you achieve this and why?
I like to play along with the song, and different parts of the song should have different, you know, parts. Like with every instrument, change chord, change a groove. I think, you know, so the different parts stand out. As far as how it came about, it's just natural. I don't know, just things happen here and there.
It's just your style.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, with all the different things that you guys have done over the years, what are some of the future plans for Spinning Jenny?
We're making a new album right now, and it should be out in about 6 months or so. It's going to be on CD like our old one was, and that's basically what we're working on right now.
And gigging, a lot of gigging.
Lots of gigging,
Lots of gigging.
as much as possible.
Yeah, we're playing it, you know, we play it like the Linwood Grill, O'Brien's Pub in Boston, Shroudy's, Nantucket
Shroudy's on March 12th, right in Weymouth.
Weymouth.
March 12th.
Yeah, Weymouth.
One down.
And as far as Boston gigs, what are some of the places you'll be hitting in the Boston area before too long?
O'Brien's.
O'Brien.
Linwood Grill.
Oh, okay.
We're going to
Right.
be around before too long, yeah.
Local 186.
They keep telling me about
there.
that. Yeah, we're going to
Yeah,
play
it's
there.
fun. It's fun.
TT the Bears. We might play Danielle's apartment.
Yeah. I have a patio.
Well, I guess it's Danielle's patio. Ron, do you have any questions for the band before we close out the program?
Thank you, Mark. You guys and gals were great. You were great. Terrific. And maybe someday you come back again because you were really great. Don't you think so, Mark?
Definitely.
Well, I hope your listening audience have enjoyed our show. And Mark, do you have any other words before we give these final robust words that we're going to give out to our audience, which I hope you remember?
Robust words. Uh-oh. Keep making music.
What's that again, gang? Keep making music!